you. And live streaming is on again.
Yeah, it's on again. Okay, we can continue. Okay, you're on, Mr. Marco. You can
Yeah.
continue.
Yes, but I need the
Okay, okay.
page with the
I forgot. I thought I was sharing it already. Yeah. So
no,
okay. Almost. Okay. uh,
there we are again. I was describing the line below zelfstandig naamwoord, noun. It first says de, that's the article, the definite article. And there are two possibilities with nouns, de or het. Most words have de, some have het, and that's really important to know because it influences the way you refer to the word in other contexts. On the other side, we have VM. That's the difference between de woorden can be female or male. V is vrouwelijk for female. M is male or mannelijk. And there is a development in Dutch that the difference between the two becomes less and less important. And also, this has been going on for 1,000 years. So in the northern part, in the Netherlands itself, nearly all de words are considered male, but in historic texts and in the southern part, in Flanders, the difference between female and male is still used. So therefore we do give this information, but if you want to learn Dutch, that's not really something I would spend a lot of time on. If you can go a little to the right, there we have one of these tables I mentioned. Um, all the nouns Dutch nouns have this table, and it describes firstly the singular and the plural form. Enkelvoud is singular and meervoud, dus, the last column is the plural. And it first does it for the word itself, mug and muggen, but then the Dutch uses very many diminutives, words signifying the same word, but then the little version. But so you have, we call that the verkleinwoord, diminutive, and you see that in the enkelvoud it is mugje, or alternatively muggetje, and both have a plural. The first one has mugjes as plural, and the second one has muggetjes. Basically, it means a very small mug. So if you have a big mug, it's a mug, and if you have a small one, it's a mugje. But the diminutives are often also used to signify affection for a person or for something, or it is used in the other way to make it less important. If you want to express that you think you don't have to be afraid of this mug, it's only a mugje. Well, mosquitoes are always small, but mugje then mainly means you shouldn't take it too seriously. This is one of the parts you really need when you learn Dutch, because Dutch speakers use diminutives very much. It's a thing we like to do. So if you, that's the reason why we don't describe the diminutives as separate words, but we already describe them on the page of the noun itself. Maybe you can go left again. Then because it's an animal, we put it in a category, what we call a context label. It has only one meaning, therefore it's one. If there were more meanings, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. But with one meaning, we often have a label which signifies in what type of, in what sphere of interest a meaning can be found. For animals, we have a very extensive system. So, twee vleugelen tweevleugeligen is what it's saying is a particular category of insects, and they have a separate label, but uh, uh, we use this label because we have been done a big job of putting as much names of plants and animals in Wiki Wordbook. So it became useful to have very specific labels, and still for each label there can be hundreds of different words, all having this label. So therefore, we have very specific labels. Uh, Not all language have that many names already in Wiki Wordbook, but for Dutch we have them. And then it describes what a mosquito is. A small insect that flies with two wings, and it belongs to a particular order within the insects, which has a name, and the green part is the link to Wikispecies, which describes all names of plants and animals. And we link to it because then we have kind of standard, and people can easily find out what the particular animal or plant we are referring to. Uh, yes, well, there you see, the Wikispecies is an international project, and then we have after this description we have usually either an example sentence we made ourselves, but in this case we have a text which we cite, citation, showing a sentence where the word is actually used. And you can see that it's a citation because on the end you have this small 3 within brackets, and that small 3 within brackets is uh, a link to the description of the source of this sentence, where we found this sentence. So I guess if you click on it, you will go below. Yes, there you see it is from a book written by Tim Voors, Alleen the Pacific, with the title of the book. And you can just, so you can find not only that we say this word exists, but you can find a book which actually shows how it is used. That's the idea behind it. And then now you have clicked on the, yes, now we're back in the, then we give this, what we call hyponyms. We give a description of all the muggen, muggen, uh, different mosquitoes, which have a page in Wiki Wordbook. And you see there are quite a lot of mosquitoes, mosquito names, all with their own page in Wiki Wordbook. There are a lot of mosquitoes in the world. Then we have a second page which shows words with that are derived from mug. So words which use mug as part of the whole word. And again, this is a very long list.
Yeah.
Uh, then you have a list of related terms, words which are not themselves mug, but are in some way related to mosquitoes. Then we have a new header, uitdrukkingen en gezegden, expressions, particular idioms, ways, often used phrases with a specific meaning in which mug is used. The first one is blue because this phrase has its own page. Van een mug een olifant maken to change a mosquito into an elephant. Which means something, making a big fuss of something which isn't that important. Yes, well, here we have this page describing this expression. And you see, you can go from mug to this, and you can jump back to where you came from. And so we have more phrases which are described. They all have a non-literal meaning. They are not phrases in an ordinary meaning. They are phrases which have a specific meaning, and therefore we describe them specifically on the page. The next header is vertalingen, translations, and basically that's the same as in Swaminati Wiki. We have a list of languages, and for each languages, the words which mean mug. So if you go to English, we have gnat, midge, and mosquito. All these words in English can refer to mug in Dutch. But if you go right under low, you have Tyap and agamoon, agamoon. And you see again between brackets KCG. If you would click on KCG, you would jump again to Swanglatubuki.
Hmm.
And if you are on Swanglatubuki, you can jump back to dot mug, and then you are back at the page where we were. Now you have to go down again. We have very long pages sometimes. Then we have gangbaarheid, which means prevalence. We give the user some information about how often a word is used. We mentioned that the word mug is in a basic word list of all Dutch words, which is kept by the body, the Nederlands Taalunie, which is an agency that uh, looks into the orthography of Dutch, both for the Dutch, the Belgian, and the Suriname government. And they have a long list of the most used words in Dutch, and mug is in this list. And the second one is refers to an investigation research done in 2013, and it informs you about how much percentage of the Dutch people and how which percentage of the Flemish, the Belgian people, Dutch-speaking Belgian people recognize this word. And you see that mug was recognized by 99% of people in the Netherlands and 99% of the Dutch-speaking people in Belgium. So it's a very well-known word. Then we have the header meer informatie, more information. That's basically a link to Wikipedia, the Wikipedia article in Dutch on mug. And then we have the header verwijzingen, references, which gives links to the sources we use for some of the information you find above. They are all, we have the example 3 we were before, but the other, all the other 4, there are 4 references used in the article. If you go on, you see that mug also is an English word. So we have a description in English of the English words on the same page. That's the way dictionaries work. In English, it's both a noun, zelfstandig naamwoord, and if you go on, it's also a verb, a werkwoord. The noun, if you go up again, the noun, you have to go up a little to get the noun. You see again a table, but for English, we just give enkelvoud, meervoud, singular, plural, mug, a mug, mug, a mugs, because in English, the diminutive is not so common as in Dutch. So we have not a line for diminutive forms in English or in any other language. It's typically for Dutch. Mug has a lot of different meanings in English, so we all list those meanings, and then we have the verb. And then you see again, for the verb on the right side, we have vervoeging, which means conjunction, um, flexion. The way uh, if you use it in general, it's to mug. If you use it with he or she or it, it's mugs. If you use it in the past tense, it's mugged. If you use the participle, it's mugged. If you use the present participle, it's mugging. And if you giving an order, it's mug. So all these forms are described in this table. And we usually do this with verbs in all language, but each language usually has a separate table because all language seems to be different in this on this point. And that's the reason why I asked for this information. I asked Jolan to provide this information for Tyap because that's really something for a linguist to figure out. How are there several classes of verbs and what categories are relevant to put in such a table? So uh, That's, I think, the main part. Maybe if you go a little on, you can see the box where we have all, no, downward, downward. If you go all to the bottom, you have a big box with all the categories, and you see the we use a lot of templates, and usually a word becomes in a gets into a category because particular templates have been used. And what we are not going to do today is looking uh, on the wiki text of this page. If you go, because then you would see all these templates, and you would be very confused because there are really a lot of them. But because of these templates, many words are automatically also put in certain categories. Ah,
That's this very template.
yes. You see here all this. Here's a list of all the templates we use on. There are 145 different templates used on this page.
Mm,
So that's the reason why I say let's not now uh,
yeah,
go to
yes.
even a simple page can contain a lot of templates.
Yeah, and
Well,
funny
that's
enough,
a short run through a uh, wiki wordable page.
okay. So thank you very much, Mr. Swat. Funny enough, we actually have the same situation with the client words. That's the diminutives. So
Yes,
in Tiap, we have two of the diminutives. We have the abi and then we have the aba. So we still have the same situation with the Dutch language. Like I can just refer to guacap as aba guacap, but he will be very annoyed because yeah, I've made him look too small, and it is very common, very common in Tiap to use the aba, like when someone wants to refer to a thing that he or she looks down on, then you use aba. Aba is more commonly used than abi is used mainly for uncountables, but not all uncountables. So maybe I want to say the small or the little flower or the little fufu or paste. I can just say about two. Maybe I look at it and if I eat this one, it won't be enough for me. I'll just refer to it instead of just saying took. I'll just say about took or I mean a bit took. It's just the same situation with the Dutch language in
interesting.
terms of yeah, very very interesting in terms the Dutch language. So if it is agamun, for example, we have
Yes,
mush here, nuch here.
yes,
So we are going to have a bagamun. Maybe my donation may not be so typic, but maybe Guacap or Kuyet can be able to adjust the sounds. But it's usually a bagamun in written form, and then we usually put it in in uh, in, in the same word, not differently. And then the agamun is just a change of tonation, and the spelling will just be the same, but we're going to have a rising tone at the top of the second A with underline.
mhm,
Yes. and and I think let me still share the screen again. Then I will just finish up with what I wanted to show us earlier on. Then I know that time is gone, yes, but it is quite necessary a bit for us to actually know how to do the editing properly. So I'll just go back a bit to where we began,
mhm.
and then we'll go over to the table. You can see this article on the one that was written, this Ngonium. Ngonian, for example. um I closed it unfortunately. Okay, so like this Abangon, for example, this is a diminutive, but this one also mean little child or baby. Yes, so the Aba is the diminutive, and then the Ngon is the actual word, which is child. So this very article was kind of adjusted, and it looks very well written. So I think this one is good by Guaca. And then the one I opened earlier on was Ngonium, but if I can't find it, then I'll look for the search. I'll go to the search, and then I'll get it right here. So this is the article Ngonium. So what was supposed to be done right here to adjust everything here, if we have something like this, is to make it two star. But definitely we're going to work on the template. Definitely work on the template so that everything would be much easier than the way we are having it right away. Because before we started this very project last year, we didn't have this template, and it was quite difficult for us because one will have to type the Zoanet phonetic BB Swanta FBS manually. But right now,
Mhm.
all one has to do is just to put the IPA, that's all, and the whole setup would bring out the other write-ups that we actually need, which include this very one right here. So it's kind of very, very helpful, like as I understood it. But it seems we have something different a bit in this very template. We don't need to add the KCG to this very template right here. So when we publish it, then we're going to see that the oh, I don't know, man. But maybe maybe something went wrong. Maybe something went wrong somewhere. But I will check it later on and understand why it is showing. so I think something has gone on somewhere, and I will check it and see what the problem is. Yeah, but then uh
If you can, if
yeah, I'm just having some technical challenge with my computer right now. So uh, I, okay, so let me go back again to the Ngonian, and then I'll take it. So Gwakap, you were saying something.
yes, if you can hear me, I think I've encountered this error. Like if you use the English keyboard to write the IPA, it will give you this error. But if you use the African keyboard, it will surely give you the correct thing.
Okay, so let's just also look at another entry that has no problem, like learn or alete, and then would no, this one doesn't have it yet. So let's look at a word like agamun, and then we can be able to see what the issue is right here. So I think something was added to the template, and that was not supposed to be added. So this is the way it would be for it not to have a challenge. Um, so I think this is the issue. This is the issue with it, and then also this one right here. So maybe we publish it, and then we see how it looks. So I think it is okay right now, so we can be able to have uh, the whole thing as it's supposed to be. Or we're still developing everything, and we would get to make everything look perfect, because in this very situation we also have dialects of the Tyap language. And I was hoping maybe we can create some other templates for dialect, or let's say variants of the Tyap language, and they too they could have the IPA, but then that will be done a bit later. And then when we look at this very part of speech, for nouns, currently we just repeat the same word for that very
Hmm.
entry. Like in the case of this very one, we just make it bold like this, uh, and then we add the article, which is ka, uh, to the same line. We just adjusted it. Instead of having it so strongly at the bottom, we just arrange it just like the Dutch wiki volume book, volume book, and then we have the article, because we want to uh, click to make it clickable. Whenever you click on this
Yeah.
very car, yeah, then it will be able to take you to the right article, under article. So, and then we have the plural, which is the apa. mm, and then we have the, if it is apa, now then we'll start with the we make this plural form bold a bit, kind of for the meantime. And then we have a canam, so it's a different word entirely from the singular word. And then this the plural word also has its own definite article, which is na. And then we have a kanyamna, and and then we are going to only see the na when we publish it. And then for this very one, we would have to add the hashtag to each line, so that we can make it look like dots, points, instead of separated. And then we also add this very apostrophe at the end, and then maybe to make it bold, so that one will be able to see it from afar. Maybe later on we may change the style to another style. um, and then and then this is it. And we usually start with capital letters and we end with small letters. And you can see this definition: goniam siat ananyuk akanya. Well, that means a girl is a sibling that is a female, or belonging to a female. But it doesn't have to actually be like this. Akanyam is just simply a female child. So we can just say ngoniam yet anap, yeah, anap, ngona napwa. That's all. and and then that's still an edit. uh, but since we said ngon, then we'll have to make it car instead of that. And then when you look at the example, and there's something that has to be adjusted: ngu wa yet ngu nyamu, she's the girl. And then we don't spell halfway, we spell fully in Tyap, even when we pronounce them in short. And enya, enya wa yet ngoniam. Well, this one is another sense entirely, because this one is talking about a girlfriend, not a girl, normal girl. So maybe we'll change, or we'll add another sense
Yes. Understand.
yeah. Yes. So in this very case, if we were to add a sense, then we would just put a hashtag. Maybe we, but usually the style I presently use is when we have more than one sense, then we just say a girl may be, that's Ngonian Bayet. Then we start with the first apostrophe, with the first one, maybe Ngwananap, that's a female child. And then maybe Upandang Anap, which is a female friend, Anyawayan Ngonia Manka, who is your girlfriend. And then Ngoniam, no, Ngoniam, Anyan, Kiaka. These words usually change in accordance to what definite article the noun is, because ngoniam is a car word. That's why we have to have kiaka. That's whose girlfriend is this or is that. Ngoniam is a girl, anyan is who, kia means it is, and then ka usually doesn't, we can't translate it to English, but it's kind of a definite article being put, but we cannot say whose the girlfriend is it or is that. uh, so that is usually not translated, but if we don't put it in Tiap, it doesn't sound correct. So we usually have it there, but if this very word is to be like zam, for example, which means boys, the plural form of ngosem, which is boy, then we'll say zam anyan jaji, because zam is a G word, so we have to change this word very once to. And if we are using a word like a support, which is water, for example, because a support is a na word, then we have to change this one to niana. Whose water is this? And then if it is it's a group of women, or let's say women, for example, a nuke is woman, and a nuke is a bar word, then we have to change this one to biaba, a nuke enya. But then it is more than one, and the the pronoun who also has plurals. So if we are dealing with plurals, we have to make it anyanyan instead of anyan. So the same word with the ngoniam, the plural form of the ngoniam is akanyam. So we say akanyam, anyanya. But then that would only mean if the people who belong to are also plenty. But then if it's a one man that has all the wives, then I think this one would Anyuk Anyam Biaba. So it means that the man is a polygamous man, so it's a singular that's going to be here, and whose women are these women, so that would now be that. Yes, so it all depends on the definite article for us to be able to make the sentence correct. And when it comes to verbs in TF, it is kind of, we are also trying to understand how the TF verbs work. It's kind of funny, but well, um, we hope that very soon we'll get to understand how it does work. But in TAP, we don't seem to have past tense being different from the present tense. But then we have some modal verbs that we add to the words that change them to past tense, complete past tense. Like for example, the word buy, which means to come. By can be a noun, by can mean a verb, like the coming of the queen, like we can see Queen Elizabeth right here, her coming, which makes it a gerund kind of, which would also have a definite article who, by and go who, but then by and large it is a verb. So in this very case, we usually arrange these very verb forms. We don't have a table yet, but I would endeavor to create a template that will have all these for the verbs. So we have by, which is just to come, but even though it is a simple present word, it can also be a past tense, but it cannot be a future tense without you having to add the modal verb na or wu, because these are the two uh, future tenses of future modal verbs in Tiap, na and wu. We usually use wu if the event is going to happen tomorrow, not more than tomorrow. It has to be tomorrow. That's wu. Awubaya, are you coming? But if I say awu, that is you, uh, that's you, subject you, and then wu is will, and then by is come, and then the at the end is a question marker. So awobaya, are you coming? One would know that definitely I'm talking about tomorrow, not today. But anabaya, are you coming? It can be today, it can be tomorrow, it can be the day after tomorrow, it can be in the future, it can be 10 years coming. But anabaya, are you coming? Or anabai, you will come. A you na will by come. Anabai, you will come. I'm just stating it to you that you are going to come. You don't have a choice. But I will buy, you will come. But the person will know that I'm talking about tomorrow. But Ababai or Ababai, Ababai would mean that this ba is a past tense, but this past tense is having to do with just the recent past, maybe a minute or few minutes ago, or maybe within this very day, within today. For example, I will say he came, but I don't want to say he had come, or I don't want to make it more than that. He came. I will say Ababai, our biophone, maybe I can translate it to he had come today, or he came today. But this one just marks that it happened today, but it just happened a few moments ago. And then combine, this one is talking about past tense, but this one functions like the opposite of this very na. This na can be a future, it can be tomorrow, it can be 10 years later. Then this one is a past, but not it can be recent past, it can be 10 years ago. So this is a combine, like from a minute ago or a second ago down to the past, far past, maybe down to Adam. You can use this can. And then this very one, this very one right here, this could also functions like the woo opposite right here. So this one occupy, it could be yesterday, but it actually talks about a recent event, but not so recent. You can still use it in the recent, but maybe towards tomorrow. But this one is much farther than this very one, and or maybe you can still use it a bit far, because if I said that let me just say use Jesus for example, Yesu Kobai, or Yesu Kambai, Jesus has come already. So maybe 2000 years ago you use can, I don't know, Gwakap, maybe you can be able to help me out in this very situation. But the ku right here, we usually use it more often. I hear it more often. And even in the names of people, we have a name called Kubai. Kubai means has come. It is actually a contraction of Kubai, which is
Mhm.
he has come or she has come. Uh, and the coming, that the child, even if it is a 100 years old person that answers the name Kubai, you can't just say the person came just yesterday. But the parents, when the child was, when the parents were waiting for the child, well, they just got the child, so, and the child never grows in the eyes of their
Sorry.
parents. So,
And and that kubai can also mean it has happened.
Oh, in
okay,
perfective sense is that
yes,
probably. You have
yeah,
you have the past. Something happened somewhere in the past, but the perfective usually means that it did not only happen, but it was concluded. It ended also. You
yes,
reach the state of the end of what happened, and that can be
yes,
reasoned,
all
or
abs-
but it is different with the normal past.
honestly. Yeah, it's very, very, very absolute. So this one is the normal past one. Can is a perfect, like, this is the past tense of all past tense, according to my own understanding. And then this very one, well, just as Marco has explained it, that's just the way it is. And then this very chobai is a continuous form, is a habitual one, or maybe is a future, like Nchobai means I am coming. Nchobai, coming.
Mhm.
It is actually a contraction of the word chong by, and chong is to walk, and then by is to come. So if you are coming, it is chobai. Yeah, I don't know how to explain. And then this Mumbai, this Mumbai
Some,
is, yeah.
we have something similar in Dutch because we have the verb
Okay,
gaan, which is a
okay.
modal. It means both to go somewhere, but it is also used as a modal verb, and then it expresses that you are about to do something. And
Oh
then
yes.
you, als ik ga naar huis, I'm going home, but
Okay.
ik ga spelen, I am going to play.
Oh
So
wow.
that's you both as a verb of motion and as a modal verb.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so I think it's the same situation we have right here in the Tyap version of it. Yes, and then also we have the Mumbai. The Mumbai. This very sometimes it's whenever we have the next consonant not being a plosive, like an F word, or like this ndung, for example. Ordinarily it
Mm.
could be dung, but because although this very word is different, but assuming it is a verb, I can't find a verb like this very word here. Here is to tell. So if we had have to add a prefix to it, then we're going to add an N, not an M. So whenever we have
Yeah.
a plosive P, B, ba, ba, then we have an M instead. So I think Kuyet is just explaining that his network says that's why he couldn't join again. When we have this Mumbai, for example, uh, Janjinam, Janjina Yesu Kumbayani, that's when Jesus came. Um, that's this is actually explaining the time in which. So that's the kind of meaning that this has, in which you are talking. Is a kind of, I don't know whether it's a preposition or something, or but we are still here to understand.
Mm.
This is our major headache in the Tiap language currently, how to understand what this very word means whenever we add it to a, because earlier on I was thinking probably it's a marker of tenses, but later on I got the explanation that no, it's actually not a tense. It has a meaning, but it has to do with in which or on which, or it actually gives more certainty to that very verb. So judging gumbaeni, or maybe it's a process marker. When he came, maybe in the process of him coming, it explains something like that. But then this by right here is just, it can be past tense, it can be present. I can just say Guaha by, Wahab came. Uh, so his coming is actually in the past, but uh, I just say Wahab by. I don't have to say Wahab babai. I don't have to say Wahab kubai. I don't have to say Wahab come by, even though all of them they are all correct. But my just stating it Wahab by is correct. But if I say Mbai, I have come. Mbai, I have come. I don't have to say Nkambai. I don't have to say Mbabai. I don't have to say any other thing. But Mbai, I have come. And then if you just want to call somebody come, is just by, and then any other present usage and past usage you can still use by. So I don't really know how Yolan would be able to do this, but I trust that as a linguist,
I,
he can be able to get around this whole thing. But this is
that's possible.
actually a
I was
big
thinking
headache.
too.
Yes,
Maybe and he can maybe ask questions which really help us understand it better because
yeah,
I can scratch on it, but I am not a linguist myself.
okay. Okay, no problem. So maybe whenever he comes around, we'll
Yeah.
be able to be able to give more examples. Like WhatsApp is available to give us more examples and more scenario or scenario in which we can be able to use these verbs. But then I would do my best, honestly, before this whole program will finish, to be able to design the template or the table for these very verbs, so that we can be able to have it right there also, together with the one for the definite articles as
Yeah.
well. So, yes, so we also have the same examples as the now counterpart of it. By the chong, come, let's go. Okay, by the chong dung, together, let's go together. And then ke abai, if you come, a tak manu, you tell me. If you if okay, ke bai, so rather ke bai, if he or she or it comes, tell me. And then in here mong umba, I told them. This mong means and, but then if we are translated to English, this mong will not be able, we can't translate it. But if we are to translate it, it will mean, oh sorry, in here mamba, I tell with them, or I tell and them, but it doesn't make sense in English. So I told them, Genchi Nambayani. I told them the time. Again, we have to switch it in English. The time, instead of Jijen, we say Genji.
Mhm.
Nambayani. The time in which I will come. A neighbor. Okay, this is a negative. This is a negation. At the time, I didn't tell them the time I will come. Nam by a neighbor, and this any we can't really translate it to English because it has no meaning in English. Uh, so
No,
it
but
is just
we have the same. There are Dutch words which you don't translate in English if you are
okay.
translating because they are used in the sentence in Dutch, but they have
o-
no meaning by themselves.
Okay. Okay, so we just have the same situation in Tyap with this any, so we just leave it blank whenever we're translating. So Ihe Mamba Jenjinana Mba Eniba. I didn't tell them the time in which I will be coming. So that is that, and then we also have the tie, which are the synonyms or the similar words that have the same kind of meaning. That's to reach, but sometimes we use them as come atada. Have you come? That's have you reached? We can still have the same sense as come. Have you come? Atada, have you reached? I see neda. Are you just coming? But need means from. So I don't know how the Tia speakers were able to switch the meanings to also mean come or coming. And then short pampan means to draw near. Okay, though I don't really know how we are, but it's kind of similar to short pampan. That's to shift closer, is a kind of coming also, come closer, shift closer. And the hot bumpan, that is a draw near or draw closer, which is like coming also, come near, come closer. And then the opposite, they are the ofop, and we have not go, nkat is also go, and then come is to disperse, wood is to go out, teamwork is to remove one's hands or to exclude oneself, and then chong is to go to work, and then tiong is to run, and then kaiwon is to abandon and to let go. And then we have the bundle and yang, but we are yet to have the template here, so we have to add
Mhm.
the template right here, and then we make the appropriate translation and also put the Dutch translation, and then we don't have to actually put the Swahili wiki volume book
Yeah.
template right here. So I think I will just stop here. We have taken like 2 hours for our one
Yes.
program. So I don't know if anyone has
Well, if you're having
questions.
a good time, time always flies.
Honestly, yes. So I don't know. Does anyone among us have any questions? Otherwise, I'll give Mr. Swat the chance to say a thing or two before we say bye bye.
Well, I have not that much to add, but
Yeah.
I think I will tell Jolan about this meeting and he can watch it on YouTube. Probably he will come to you with lots of questions himself because
Yeah.
the question I asked him, well, I have now heard some answers from Kambai, but I think Jolan would be better in able to put them into a good description we can use in the future. So this was, I think, a very productive meeting, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'm looking forward to adding lots of words to Wiki Word Book and Strong at the Wiki.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Swat. And also from me, I'm very happy that we are having this very meeting, and also will be very happy to explain more to Yolan whenever he comes. And also, I also believe Wakab is also available, and also the rest of us who are in the group, and those of us who are not active yet, please get into work. Let's work and see how we're going to create at least 1,000 words before we. It's possible to do it. It's very possible, even though the work is bulky. But personally, I have to like go and try to rearrange the entries that have already been created. So, and you know, as the leader of the group, also I also have to attend a lot of meetings and fix other things outside. So I'm not able to dedicate my time to it, and it actually pains me very, very deeply that I'm not putting my time enough to it. But I would try as much as possible to support in the creation of more entries, and we see that we have more entries than we met it this in the beginning of the project. So I don't know, Gwakab, do you have anything to say, Sankwai and Ellie, before we say bye bye? Uh,
So, to our contributors, like the participants, we are really lacking behind, especially Sankwai. I will talk about you. I did not see any of the move in the Stranglia wiki. And for the early, I saw your attempt, and I think I've made a correction and I make a tutorial video and sent to you on how to follow the whole thing. And for Mr. Marcos, we really appreciate your time and your commitment for this program. We really appreciate, and Yolan too, which is not here with us. Will put little best to see that everything works well. And for the for the tutorial that Mr. Levy just made, I think I've learned a lot, and you'll see changes in the whole thing. I'll make sure I try my best to see how I'll arrange every detail to go well with the standards. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Yeah, so thank you very much, Gwakab. And I see Sankwai and Ellie, they have nothing to say, otherwise they would have unmuted. Going, going, come. So if it is an auction, maybe you have
Yeah.
auctioned their silence. So for me to you, thank you very much for being present, and for our online viewers, please also go through and participate in this very project. And if you look at the link on or this video, down the comment description point, we have the link to this very project page on Meta. You can click on it, and then you can join this very project. It's very open. Don't look at yourself like someone who doesn't have enough to offer. You can always learn it on the job. That's the good thing about Wiki project. And as you do it, you become more perfect, and especially if you have the heart to do it. So please endeavor and join us in this very project, and you'll be happy at the end of the day. So thank you very much. Yes. So bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Yeah, and we're also meeting on the 28th of February. Yes. Bye bye.